Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of Zaku News here on the USA Gundam TV channel. Sorry, it's been a little while since the last episode. It's been a month, whereas usually we like to do these every 2 weeks, just because Bandai really hasn't been putting out a whole lot of information related to their standard release kits, unfortunately. Basically, all the news we've gotten out recently has just been a little bit here and there about some different exclusive items, whether it be Gundam-based exclusive items or premium Bandai exclusive items, and a couple other things here. So that's basically all we've got to talk about here today. We've got a number of things to talk about and some pretty cool ones, but let's get into it here, starting off first with the Realistic Model Series 1 in 44 scale Archangel Catapult Deck. This is in collaboration with Mega House for the production of these. This is, I think, maybe the third one that they've done in this series of them. I think there was a white base one and a Argama one, and then I think maybe this is the third one. But anyway, there are these catapult decks that you can use with your 1 in 44 scale Gunpla, whether it be HG or RG, whatever. It's coming out in the fall, and the price is yet to be announced for that, but I know these are usually pretty expensive, so they're pretty cool if you want to have this set up for display in your display shelf or room or wherever, but they do come at a little bit of a price for those, I know. Moving it on into some Gundam-based limited items here, we got the Gundam-based limited real grade Crossbone Gundam X1 clear color version that's coming out for 2,500 yen. So like usual with these clear color kits or any clear kits, usually the price is the same as the original kit. That is, if you can get it there directly at the Gundam base. If you're getting it from overseas, of course you're going to be paying a little bit more for proxy services and all this kind of stuff. So unfortunately it's going to be costing a little bit more. But it does look pretty cool. Notably, the cloak parts are not clear, and I think to have the cloak parts in clear kind of defeats the purpose of the cloak, right? Or I guess, I don't know, but I think it would have been cool if they would have made the cloak in some like a clear black or something instead of just this kind of like gunmetal-y kind of color it looks like, how that's molded in. But that's just my own personal point of view on that, but otherwise it does look pretty cool if you're into clear color kits. Next thing here, the Gundam Base Limited Real Grade Force Impulse Titanium Finish kit here. So that's coming out for 6,500 yen. Titanium finish kits, on the other hand, are usually double the price of the original kit, so that's why you're seeing that high price point for that, around $65, $70 or whatever. For that, again, that's if you can get it at the Gundam base for these titanium finish kits, because they're coated and all that process, I guess, is just a whole other thing. So again, does look pretty cool. The white ends up looking very silvery, so I don't know. It's usually white on pearl, on like titanium finish kits. Usually ends up looking like kind of a pearl white. This one looks a lot more silvery, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like that or not? And then one more real grade here is the Gundam Base Limited Real Grade Strike Rouge Grand Slam Equipment Type. So the Strike Rouge has previously come out as a premium Bandai RG kit, if I remember correctly, way back in the day. It was a one that came out a long time ago. But this is the Grand Slam equipment type, so obviously it's just including the Grand Slam sword, which I believe is maybe the first time that's included. Was that included with the Perfect Strike RG? I don't recall, possibly. Either that, or this is the first time that the Grand Slam has been made in the real grade form. Either way, it's not available in any standard release version of the kit, unfortunately, as far as I know. This is basically just a Strike Rouge colored version of the Ale Strike Gundam with different markings, and then it also just includes the sword there. So, I mean, that does look pretty cool. That's coming out for 3,000 yen there at the Gundam base. And one more thing here from the Gundam base is the Gundam Base Limited Master Grade Zaku Warrior Live Concert version. Something that we all were kind of expecting was maybe going to come out, and here it is, finally, the pink Lacus Klein concert version of the Zaku Phantom kit, or Zaku Warrior kit, I guess I should say, coming out in March for 3,800 yen for this one. So you can get your hands on this version of the pink Zaku Warrior there. And it looks like, I saw in some other images, that it does come with some waterside decals for the markings for it, although in the production images that we've got here to look at, it's definitely using the stickers, and they definitely don't look very good. But I think I did see that you do get waterside decals included with that also, I believe. You also get a new little pilot figure of Lacus or Mir doing, the pose thing that you can do, and I made a joke about this on Facebook of how kind of stupid that figure looks. I know it's a 1/100 scale, but the details, even for a 100 scale figure, look a little bit lacking. But there's that, and then the price point for this is 3,800 yen, is lower than the standard kit. I guess that's because it doesn't include any backpack equipment, and it also, I'm guessing, doesn't include a rifle or a sword or like axe either. Those weapons parts seem like maybe not included because it doesn't use them in the anime. So I'm wondering if, they just threw them in the box anyway because they're already kind of together, or maybe just omitted those. I'm not sure, but it definitely doesn't have any backpack or anything, so it is cheaper than other versions of the kit. So I mean, if you're in Japan, you could get your hands on this kit, just for having just another Zaku warrior, even if you're not interested in having like the live concert version, a pink one, you wanted to repaint it in whatever color. It's a good chance to get your hands on the kit for cheaper if you're just not interested in having any particular backpack on it. So I mean, that's one particular option, I guess. But now moving on into some premium Bandai news, but sticking with that same kit, we have the P-Bandai Master Grade Blaze Zaku Phantom Ray Zabrel custom version coming out in June for 4,700 yen. Now, this is another one that we all kind of expected was coming out. It's actually coming out sooner than what I would have expected, as the other Blaze Zaku Phantom kits just came out not that long ago. Oh, this, of course, is basically just a recolor version of the one that we already got out, but Bandai's done that thing that they like to do, and getting me to really want to get this kit because they did make it slightly different in that not only is it recolored, but this version now comes with the Seed Bazooka, whereas the original kit, any other version of the kit has not yet come with that. So it does have some new parts aside from just being recolored. It is now including the bazooka as well, which I really love that bazooka design, so I'm very tempted to get this one as well too, even though it's the same kit as the regular Zaku Phantom, Zaku Phantom that we already got out, unfortunately. But yeah, coming out in June for 4,700 yen. I mean, it looks great. It's a really great kit. If you haven't seen, I did review the regular version and the Slash version and the Phantom version already here on my channel, so I've already built a couple of them. I do like them a lot. I'm not sure if I want to get another one just for that bazooka, but I am certainly tempted. Alright, next thing here is really big news, is the Premium Bandai Real Experience model Unicorn Gundam Auto Transformation, or Auto Trans as they're calling it as well too. Auto Trans edition coming out in November for the whopping price of 50,000 yen, so around $500 for this thing. Is pretty insane, but basically it's this whole motorized thing. It's just the bust of the unicorn. I'm not sure if they've said exactly what the scale of it is. I know the size of it is around 40 centimeters in height, so it's pretty big, and they showed some pictures here too of it like in a room, so you can actually see like what it looks like on a desk or next to a TV and stuff, so it was cool to see that like actually in the space. Also looks like all the markings on it are just pre-printed onto the plastic. You can see in like one of the images there, it shows what's included, basically like the bust, like the inner frame of the bust sort of, and then you have your runners of parts, like basically the white armor parts they'll add onto it. And there's really only like 5 or 6 runners, not that many parts they'll be adding onto this, and it looks like all the decals are already pre-printed onto that, so not really that much to build with this. Unfortunately, it's basically just a thing you just kind of take out like the core frame of it, and then you add a few pieces of armor onto it, and you're basically done. So pretty simple, but not only does it light up, it auto transforms, that's the first thing. It also lights up in 2 different colors, green or red, depending on which version you want to go with. Also has sound, so it'll play sounds. I guess it's got some pre-recorded audio from Banager and Audrey on there, so I'm not exactly sure what the lines are, but some lines from the anime, I'm sure. You've got like buttons on the side, like where the arm would plug into the torso. There's like some buttons there with like an on-off switch, a volume switch. For choosing the lights, basically it gives you like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4 buttons, so you can choose which lighting setup you want, like based on the episodes, which is kind of cool, and then like the transformations on there, so that's all really cool and everything. And it's got like the built-in CPU for all of that, so I'm not sure what the power source is going to be. I'm sure it's probably on the site. They made a whole separate site like for all the information about this, but as I was skimming through it earlier, I didn't see what the power source is, if it's battery powered or if it's just like plugged into the wall or USB powered or anything like that, so I'll have to check on that. Obviously the issue is if it plugs into your wall outlet, then wherever you are in the world you might use a different type of outlet, so that could be an issue if they release it like that. So probably not going to release it like that. I would imagine it's probably USB powered, or battery powered. I would hope not, but you can also like plug speakers into it, looks like, as well too. So if you wanted to set this up like next to your computer or your TV or whatever, and then have some external speakers like plugged into that as well too. So I mean, it looks very cool, but it's coming at a very high price tag. So I mean, you got to really be a big fan. I mean, I like it a lot, but I mean, and I'm not sure if I would enjoy the novelty of it that much. It'd be cool to see, a couple times, but then like just keep having it around. I don't know. It's not really particularly for me for that price, but if it was, $100 maybe. And I don't really care about the auto transforming feature as well too. That's just not something that's very interesting for me. But what do you guys think about that? Auto transforming, is that something you would like to see like Bandai do more in the future as well too? I'm not sure what else they could implement that into other than like a unicorn bust, but Are you guys interested in that as a gimmick or not? What do you guys think? Alright, then moving on to some more P-Bandai stuff here. The Premium Bandai Master Grade Exia Repair 3 coming out in June for 4,500 yen. I actually really like this version of the Exia. It's kind of cool. I like this better than the regular version. I think it's just because it also comes with that big, massive gun. Is pretty cool. I like that more than just the original Exia, which is mostly just, for the most part, relying on just different melee combat, sword weapons, things like that. So this one's coming out in June for 4,500 yen. Not a bad price for this, and it's Master Grade Exia Repair 3. I think previously there was only a real grade version of this, right? So that's coming out in Master Grade form. It looks pretty cool. Next thing, the Premium Bandai Master Grade Crossbone Gundam X1 Patchwork version, Verka. This one's coming out in May for 4,500 yen as well too. A little bit different version of the Master Grade Crossbone in that it's coming with some new parts for the arms. The new arm part on the one side, and on the other side has this kind of shield with like a hook on a wire, so like, you know, keeping up with the whole pirate theme with the whole hook hand, but it's on a wire that can go out. And then it's got the shoulder armor seems the same, but they're two different colors, so I guess hence the Patchwork title for that. I'm not familiar with the manga, the story behind this. I'm sure there's some reason why it's got the name and why it's got the different equipment and everything like that. But if you're keeping up with all the different Crossbone variants, then you're probably familiar with this. But there's the Patchwork version of the X1. I had never heard of this before. I saw about this kit, so there you go. It does look pretty cool though, and the Crossbone Master Grade kit is always nice. There's a bunch of different variants of it out now. So I mean, unless you've already got a lot of them, it would be pretty cool to check out. Alright, next thing, speaking of variants, is the Master Grade Premium Bandai Master Grade Gundam Wing Glory of Losers expansion set coming out in May for 3,200 yen. This is basically a set of expansion parts to make the Glory of Losers versions of some different Master Grade Wing kits. For example, the Premium Bandai Tallgeese 2, the Premium Bandai Ultron Gundam, and the not Premium Bandai, fortunately, Deathside Hell EW kits. So those three kits basically, it gives you parts to make the Glory of Losers versions of those kits. So for the Tallgeese 2, it's got like a different big massive sword part for that. For the Ultron, it's got the dragon backpack parts. For the Deathside Hell, it's got another like parts to make the beam scythe into like a double beam scythe, and also another set of like the shield, Buster Shield parts. So it's got like two on the side skirts rather than just the one on the arm. So slight variations to those. So I think it's pretty cool they're releasing this as just a part set rather than like three totally new versions of the Master Grade. So I think this is definitely the better way to go with that for fans of the Glory of Losers or just Wing fans in general. So they are re-releasing, if you guys don't have the Tallgeese 2 or you don't have the Ultron Gundam, they are doing reissues of those. Both of those Master Grade kits have been reissued a bunch of times. So even though they're P-Bandai kits, they might as well just be the standard releases because they've been reissued so many times. But those are getting another reissue in case you need to get your hands on one of those. All that said, I think this is a really cool set. 3,200 yen seems a little bit expensive for this, if I'm being honest. I would have imagined this probably being something more around like 2,400 yen. Seems a little bit more fair for what you get. If you look at what you actually get in the box, it's not that much what you actually have in there, so it does seem a little bit expensive. And then obviously it's a P-Bandai item, so if you're living outside of Japan, it's going to be even more expensive, so you're really going to have to justify this one. But it does make some cool variants of those kits. I do like those parts. They do look pretty awesome. Alright, then the last thing Master Grade related here is the Premium Bandai MG Gundam Mark 5, and this is not new. We've known this is coming out for a while. But a couple things about this. It's coming out in April for 8,000 yen, so pretty expensive, but it is a pretty big kit. It's a completely new kit, 100% new. And recently the Gundam Base Tokyo YouTube channel did a live stream about this. So they did a demo of the kit, showing off some different features of the kit and everything. So check that out if you guys haven't seen that. It's all in Japanese, of course, but you can just get a close-up, first-hand, in-hand view of the Gundam Mark 5 if you're interested in the kit, and it looks very awesome. I'm very excited for that. We do also have the box art for this now as well too, which looks very cool. I'm really excited for that. So that Gundam Mark 5 will be out in April, and very, very excited for that release. Now the last couple things here are HG related. So P-Bandai HGUC Rick DS mass production type coming out in June for 1,900 yen. This is basically just a recolor of the Quattro Regina version that we had out earlier. It is using the new parts to the HGUC Rick DS, so if you're a fan of the Rick DS, this is definitely the better version to get as opposed to the original HGUC version. This is using all the updated parts, so it's sort of like a 1.5 version of the Rick DS. But if you prefer this mass production type color scheme over the red color scheme, it's a good chance to pick that up. But otherwise, that's the only thing different about this particular kit. And the last thing, which is very exciting for me because I love this design, is the Premium Bandai HGC Gelgoog Vertex. Johnny Ridden's custom Gelgoog mobile suit here, coming out in June for 2,500 yen. Very similar to the Re-Gelgoog, but instead of having the big massive shoulders, it's got the big massive shoulder parts mounted onto the backpack. And then it's got a bunch of different armaments. It's got like 4 different type of rifle, bazookas, 4 different types of handheld weapons in there. So you got lots of weapon options in this as well too. Basically, you use 1 with this kit, and then you got 3 extras that you can use for other custom projects, whatever. So very cool. It's based off of the old Gelgoog HGUC kit, of course, which is a little bit dated to be sure, but still, it's a very cool variation, and I'm super excited they're actually making this. I did not expect that they were actually going to make a kit of this. So I'm very excited to see that. So that is all the news for now. Nothing related to anything standard releases, unfortunately. Hopefully by the next 2 weeks, we'll get back to a normal schedule. We can do another episode in 2 weeks where we'll have more stuff to talk about. Fingers crossed. If not, then maybe it'll be another month before the next episode. But for now, Bandai just seems to be focused on just doing a lot of reprints. I know that they're doing reprinting a lot of kits, or just kind of getting caught up with their just physical production of kits. And then I assume probably, hopefully soon, but possibly a little bit later into the spring, we'll start seeing more information about some more kits coming out later towards the end of the year. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Of course, the link, as always, will be down below in the video description to USA Gundam Store. So check us out there, shop online, and just thank you guys all so much for your support. Till next time, we'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.